Hello, everybody. This is Andrew Akhaphong. I am a supermarket dietitian, and we will be having our Facebook Live session coming up at 11 a.m. Central, 12 p.m. Eastern. Feel free to leave any questions you may have for me, and I'll do my best to answer them all. Hello, Leah McGrath. Good morning. She's also a fellow retail dietitian, if any of you didn't know, and the best person to build up dietitians ever. I did post in the comments my Instagram tag, GindiRD, KIN_DI_RD, which is Thai for eat well. And then I also attached some resources in that comment for ways you can get started in retail dietetics, grocery stores that hire dietitians currently. And if you're interested in becoming a retail dietitian but don't know if you want to commit to that yet, some food products available that hire brand ambassadors. We'll give it 3 more minutes here. For those who are just logging on, we'll be beginning our Facebook Live session at 11 a.m. Central, 12 p.m. Eastern, talking about supermarket dietitians and what we do. I hope everyone can hear me okay. I am using a microphone. I am at the grocery store and the retail setting is a loud setting. So I'll do my best as I can, blocking out all the extra noise. Hey, Kylie. Kylie is one of my former fellow Hy-Vee dietitians and now one of my really close friends. And then Kylie could help jump in and provide some feedback on her experience as a retail dietitian as well. Hi, Priscilla. You can email me at dietitian@mackintoons.com. And Mackintoons is spelled MACKENTUNS.com. And I did posted a long comment all the way on the top of the message board. My Instagram handle, which is GindiRD, KIN_DI_RD, which is Thai for eating well. A bunch of other resources, my email, my store's Instagram handle. All right, it is 11. I will get started. So for those who are just logging in, my name is Andrew Akhaphong. I am a retail dietitian for Mackintoon Fine Foods, and we are the oldest family-owned grocery store in Minnesota. We've been around since 1917, starting out as a meat market, and it's been in now in its fifth run of being operated by the McIntoon family. We currently own 4 stores, one in a big suburb pretty close to the Twin Cities, and 3 smaller rural grocery stores. To give you an idea, McIntoon's Fine Foods in Waconia is about a 70,000 square foot store, and the rural Minnesota stores are variable, but similar to the size of an Aldi's. So let's get started. So I'll be talking about my background, the career paths I have chosen to get into retail, and hopefully if we have enough time, Leah said I had permission to take you all on a quick virtual grocery store tour to show you some interventions that I do to target the consumer. So I would say dietetics or food nutrition has always been in my background since I was a little kid, and I didn't really become aware of that until I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for my college undergraduate. So my parents were born during the Vietnam War era, and that was approximately like a 19 year long war, and they had to grow up most of their life in refugee camps around Thailand and Laos. And I remember seeing pictures of my parents growing up in that refugee camp, of their friends and family and even themselves with their faces sunken in, and you could see like the bones of their shoulders. And at the time, seeing that, I didn't really know what that meant, and I thought that's just how their body was. As I got older and they were willing to tell me more about their childhood, I remember my maternal grandfather telling me how he remembered that he had to fight with his own friends and family for food to survive in the refugee camps because there wasn't much food available at that time. And basically, you're all on your own. And so when my parents finally escaped to the United States with the help of a church sponsorship in Minnesota, they'd settled down, and my grandmother started the first Thai restaurant in Minnesota in 1989 called Siam Cafe. And so my grandma was in the food service industry, and eventually, as I started getting older, my mom opened up her own restaurant as well. So growing up in that restaurant industry, working as a server, I started receiving customers asking like, you know what, I have diabetes, I have kidney disease, or I have allergies to this. And I didn't really know what all of that meant. I was, of course, a naive teenager, not really caring much about what's going on in the world, and I only wanted to sit down at home and play video games. I had them teach me what they meant by meeting all those accommodations. So that way I brought that information to my mom and their kitchen staff to be able to modify their menu to meet those customers' needs. So as I entered college, I went to Minnesota State University Mankato. I was just taking generals at the time, still not knowing what I wanted to do. And my best friend mentioned to me that she was attending Normandale Community College for their dietetic technology program. And like, I've not heard of that before. What is that? And so she told me about the dietetic technology program and how food and health and wellness play an essential role in somebody's well-being, all the different medical science behind it, and that really perked my interest. And luckily, Minnesota State University Mankato had a dietetics program, so I went to go talk to the DPD director at the time, gave her my origin story, some examples of my experiences, and she said, you know what, you're the perfect fit. How about you try some prerequisite courses in the program and see how you like it. So I attended my first Intro to Nutrition class and Food Culture and You. It was actually Food Culture and You that like really opened my eyes on how people view food in different cultures and the different philosophies behind how food affects your overall well-being. And so I stuck with dietetics. So after I graduated, I was a second match applicant. I was admitted to Bluffton University, Ohio's individualized supervised pathway program, and that was a specialty in community nutrition. And there, we had a rotation at Giant Eagle in Cincinnati, Ohio, and we followed their in-store registered dietitian there, and it blew my mind. Being able to have that opportunity at the grocery store. And for the longest time, I always thought I belong in clinical. I love science. I like all the hard, challenging stuff. And it was really interesting to see how this Giant Eagle registered dietitian had so much impact on the community and directly with the consumers on promoting healthy choices, high fiber, diabetes education. And don't worry, Priscilla, I'll repost the comments with my hashtag and Instagram posts, emails, and all those resources for you at the end too. And I was like, you know what, maybe clinical is not my thing. I really want to work in a grocery store. So after I finished my internship and got my RD registration, I went to clinical right away because so many people I've heard said you really need to get clinical experience. No matter what field you work in, you need that as one of your priorities. So I'm like, okay. So I got my first entry-level job as a registered dietitian for a long-term care facility, and right away, I was promoted to their lead clinical dietitian. So this really big new responsibility for a new dietitian, kind of freaking me out. But it was a great experience for me to build on some of those skills that many people emphasize on in the clinical setting. And the more residents I was exposed to, and we even had a TCU unit, the more I was exposed to the TCU patients, the more I see them come back, I think to myself, what am I not doing enough of for them to not come back to our TCU setting? And so I figured maybe it's the way I'm teaching them, or maybe it's the resources that I don't have to be able to help them successfully navigate their therapeutic needs. And so I saw a job opening pop up for Hy-Vee and Faribault, and it automatically brought me to my memories at my rotation at Giant Eagle and say, I really need to land this. Unfortunately, it was a part-time job, so I had to weigh, do I lose all my benefits and the good salary and living on my own for a part-time job? And so I did. So I left my full-time job in clinical, left for a part-time opportunity for Hy-Vee in a rural community of Faribault, Minnesota. And I would say that was one of the most best decisions I've ever made. Even though I struggled living on my own and had to move to my parents, it was still the best thing I've ever done for myself. And in that type of work environment, I had to learn so much on how to market myself as a dietitian. And I'm sure Kylie Ryan, who is also attending this Facebook Live, could say the same thing when she was a Hy-Vee dietitian. And trying to let the community know that we are a resource, we are here to serve you, and being able to help guide you through any of your therapeutic needs when you discharge from the hospital, or reinforce the knowledge that you're gaining from your diabetes educator in the outpatient setting. And as time went on, I couldn't start sustaining myself on a part-time basis, so I left Hy-Vee to go back to clinical as a clinical nutrition manager for a 300-bed facility. And then the more I worked in clinical, the more I realize, okay, you know what, maybe clinical is truly not my passion. This is the second time for me doing it. I really miss the teaching opportunity I had at a retail setting. So, randomly going on Indeed.com, and I see a job posting about Mac and Tunes Fine Foods hiring for a corporate dietitian. So with my Hy-Vee background, as part-time, I was like, you know what? I can do this. I must give it a shot. Let's go for it. Submitted my application, got to interview, and landed the job. And one of the reasons why Mac and Tunes Fine Foods was looking for a corporate dietitian to help with their business is because of the competition around the market. So the closest grocery stores around us in the suburb of Waconia, we got Hy-Vee, we got Kowalski's, we got Coburn's, we got Target, we got Cub Foods. And so the Mac and Tune family reinvented their mission statement and their vision, and reinvented the design of the store and the customer service experience. And so our vision is to provide an exceptional experience and support the health and wellness of our employees and customers. And so with that change in the vision and the structure of the company, that brought the decision for the Mac and Tune family to hire a corporate dietitian to help with their business. So obviously, the dietitian program at Mac and Tune Fine Foods is still super new and still trying to grow. And I feel like I've done so much already for this community. I've only actually been at Mac and Tune's Fine Foods for a little over 6 months, but I've worked in the retail setting as a dietitian overall for almost 4 years, if you count my Hy-Vee experience. And so some of the things I do as a retail dietitian, it varies from place to place depending on the company you work for as a retail dietitian. One of my projects, I am responsible for leading the employee wellness program. So I got a grant to help us make an employee wellness room for employees to go into during their break if they need to de-stress, use our massage table. We invite a chiropractor to come in and give our employees massages twice a month. We have a diffuser in the employee wellness room, because if our employees are not doing well and they're not physically, mentally able to perform their job well, then Mac and Tunes and our vision of providing an exceptional customer experience would fail. So we got to make sure that we take care of our employees as well. So another thing that I have launched are some community partnerships. So because the dietitian program at this grocery store is so new, how do I let people know about me being here? So we have a hospital community in Waconia called Ridgeview Medical Center. So I took the time to go out to that medical center, hand out some cards, hand out some brochures I've made to talk about what can Mac and Tunes do for their inpatient and outpatient clients. And so, since doing that, I have about 40 clients I see in our retail setting as an outpatient patient. And most of the referrals I get from the Ridgeview Medical Center are clients who have irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's disease, diabetes, and CHF. Oftentimes, I will get an eating disorder referral from one of the outpatient dietitians at Ridgeview Medical Center. And what's nice is about that relationship is the whole grocery store is our tool for education. So I get a CHF referral from a doctor at Ridgeview Medical Center, and they're having a hard time trying to navigate low sodium products. What do? Take them out to the grocery store, highlight certain products that are low sodium that they could incorporate into their lifestyle. But say, for example, the client says to me, I only cook with the microwave. My wife recently passed away and she did all the grocery shopping, all the cooking. I don't know what to do. I need to do a low sodium diet. What do we do? And keeping that information in mind, okay, maybe cooking from scratch is not realistic, so I wouldn't take him to the fresh produce aisle and focus on some of the products there as much. I would show him to the freezer aisle. Okay, do you do freezer TV meals? These are low in sodium, but you know what? Healthy Choice is doing more steamable bowls where they have the food separate from the sauce. So that way, that makes it more of a low sodium friendly option for you. Or, okay, you like canned food. Let's show you the canned food aisle. Okay, here's how you read for low sodium options. If there's a product that doesn't carry a low sodium option, try rinsing the product under cold water multiple times to at least get some of that low sodium out, cook in the microwave, and there you go. So we got to be, as retail dietitians, being able to reach where the consumer is at. And because the community is so diverse, how do you send your message and meet all these consumer needs and let them know that you're here as a resource? And so other community partners I work with besides Ridgeview Medical Center, every Wednesday I partner with The Hive, which is a women's clinic specializing in mental health, and I lead their eating disorder support group. And a little fun fact, I suffered from an eating disorder as a kid. My parents, growing up in a refugee camp, they try to eat as much as they can and push that onto me and my brother that food is a rare commodity. Eat as much as they can. Got big, got bullied. I had an eating disorder. So I was able to use some of my experiences having an eating disorder with these women, and it kind of opens them up to that men can also have eating disorders. I also partner with WIC clients. So WIC clients who are still having trouble trying to navigate their benefits and learning what products that they can purchase, walk them through with that. Since COVID started, for example, I've been helping a lot of our rural community members applying for SNAP benefits so that way they can get food into their homes. One favorite memory I had was when it was super busy in the peak of COVID in Minnesota and I was cashiering. And my cash lane's phone rang and I just let it ring because usually somebody else at a different cash lane can pick it up. Kept ringing, I picked it up anyway. And the person on the phone asked for, I hear McIntoons have a dietitian, may I talk to him? And I said, I'm actually the dietitian, but this is the cash lane phone and I'm actually cashiering right now. Can I take your information and call you back when I'm done? Got her information, got done in 30 minutes, called her back and asked her what she needed. And her information was, I'm so glad I got a hold of you. I just got recently diagnosed with CHF and I don't know what to do. And then I asked her, okay, what kind of things have you been eating? She told me crackers and lunch meat. And I'm like, every day? Do you have more food? And she said, no, that's all I've been eating. Crackers and lunch meat since COVID started. And I don't drive. I walk with a walker. My home doesn't provide transportation anymore. She lives in a subsidized housing. And I don't have family who live near me that can get me groceries. And like, you know what? Let's me come into your home, masked up, PPE and everything, and let me teach you how to use our order and delivery service for groceries so that way you can get food. And so I went over to her house and she barely had anything in her kitchen and her pantry except crackers and lunch meat. So I walked her through step by step, teaching her how to use our online ordering system so that way her groceries can be delivered to her home. And since then, being able to help her with that and helping her navigate what low-sodium options she could do, she's been telling me that her swelling has gone down, her weight's been more consistent, and if I wouldn't have picked up that phone in that instant, she may have ended up going to the hospital, maybe even a nursing home, for example. So I was very grateful that I was able to be a part of someone's journey such as that. There are a lot of practitioners in our community that go towards holistic interventions. So we have a local business that promotes Herbalife, for example. We have a chiropractor that promotes, I think it's called nutrition mediated response or something like that. And so when I get customers coming into the store looking for nutrition advice, and then they tell me, I see this lady at the Herbalife shop, or I see this chiropractor and says this. And in my mind, I'm like, why? Like, there's not a lot of science in that stuff. But I need to be cognizant and not be too biased because they're coming to me as a nutrition professional in the community, especially because this is such a new program for Mac and Tunes. I need to meet them halfway, show them respect, and at least support what they're doing as interventions and what else they can do on top of that in a safe manner. And so the more clients I get who are looking for those type of outlets, the more that push me like, you know what, I need to meet these folks in the community and see like what's up and what their programming is like. And so I went to the Herbalife shop and met with the owner, and she was like, yes, we use Herbalife, but I always tell them, you know, it might not be the right fit for you. You cannot always depend on supplements. You gotta work out, eat right, because in the long run, if you're not doing all these good things for your body and depend everything on supplements, you're never going to learn how to develop a healthy lifestyle. And in that instant, I'm like, you know what? I could work with you. Since establishing that relationship, she started sending me clients she feels that she cannot really help and are medically complex. So though I'm not a big fan of somebody promoting Herbalife, at least I'm able to get clients in that sense. So we have time, 7 minutes, and I would like to take you on a virtual grocery store tour, see what our grocery store is like, and give you more of an idea on like what I do as a retail dietitian than just giving you some anecdotes. So let's go. Got a mask up. And I got to apologize ahead of time because it is our delivery day. So the team is going out and about stocking the shelves. So one of the things I do as a dietitian is we have something called Dietitian's Choice. And a lot of different grocery stores like Hy-Vee, London Barley's, and even HEB does help promote certain items. And each store does it differently. My Dietitian Choice rotates with a weekly ad, so that way it helps me prepare for like what customers might be looking for and how can I help them get some of that information for their lifestyle. So for example, I would have things like signage such as this for Black Diamond Watermelon. Black Diamond Watermelon is one of our new products, and so I thought, okay, how do I help promote this new product to the community so that way they know about it and maybe think about purchasing it. So making this signage to help department managers and hopefully make a sale out of it. And as a retail dietitian, I'm sure Leah McGrath and Kelly Ryan could agree that even though you're a dietitian, you're working in the retail industry, your responsibility is still to promote the grocery store and sell products and make the grocery store money. Okay? So, Mac and Tunes Fine Foods, we actually won an award for 2020 as the number one Minnesota local grown grocery store. And what that means is we carry about 300 plus local products in Minnesota. And the reason why we focus so much on local is because it's what our community members are demanding. They communicate to us via email, via social media, via phone calls about we would shop at your place more if you carried more local products. So to meet that consumer demand, we gotta go through with it. What's unique about our store is we do get the majority of our produce from local farms around Waconia. We also even get our meats from a local cattle farmer, local pig farmers around Minnesota as well. And we do all our own smoking, all our own drying, all our own butchering at the store. So I'm walking over to a kiosk I would like to show you real quick. So Mac and Tunes is very involved in community. The family donates some of their proceeds to the local Waconia food shelf. We sponsor a golf tournament to raise money for the food shelf. I am working on developing a 5K to fund the food shelf. So, any questions so far? Thank you, Leah. Thank you, Kylie, for the kind feedback. They remodeled this store last year, I would say August 2018. So here is a mobile kiosk, for example, and usually I use this to highlight the dietitian's choice. So as you can see here, Old Home Cottage Cheese. I got my brochures here. I got an Old Home brand recipe and some different products to cross merchandise. I just realized I forgot to put the price tags on the Bertolli and Barilla, so I gotta go back eventually and get that done. But I use this as a mobile platform to provide nutrition education to the clients about different products, how it could meet their lifestyle, in addition to the signage I am doing right now. And so, we get a pretty big customer space. How are we on time? We got 2 minutes. Bear with me, Leah. I promise I'll stay on time. Yes, Hershey chocolates. I had no place to put the dietitian kiosk because we got our vendors trying to make a display over here, and that was the only way it could work. So to help customers navigate, is this gluten-free? Is this organic? Is this dairy-free? With our store, we don't have specific spots on where you can find all of those in one section, like how Hy-Vee has the health market. Is that what it's called, Kylie? I forgot. Health market. So we have these little things called shelf talkers, such as this. So it goes onto the price tag, informing the customer, okay, you're gluten-free. If you purchase this product, it's a gluten-free item. So we kind of make it a little bit easier for the customers to navigate the aisles and not be so stressed out. And of course, sometimes they call for me and help them shop, so I go with them hand in hand looking for products. So we are at 11:30. This is a 30-minute session, so I gotta get off soon and let you guys go on your day. But are there any questions that you may have? I'll repost my links again, but there's retaildietitians.com, which is operated by Annette Maggie, who's a really awesome retail dietitian, and Phil Lampert. if you're looking to get started in retail, but not sure if retail is actually right for you, you could be a brand ambassador for like Huel, which is a protein company, or even Johnny Pops, which is a, what would you say, Kelly? It's like a frozen yogurt popsicle type thing. Again, I'm not endorsing these brands, but I'm here to educate consumers about products and see if it helps them meet their lifestyles. All right. Oh, yes, I totally forgot. I am a moderator of the Build Up BIPOC group. Thank you, Leah, for bringing that up. So, anyways, thank you very much, everybody. This is Andrew Akhaphong, supermarket dietitian for Macintoons Fine Foods. Follow me at my Instagram tag, GindiRD, KIN_DI_RD, which means eat well in Thai. I think I just posted the links again in the comments about resources for being retail RDs, blogs, brands that you can be ambassadors for, and also my email. So talk to you soon, guys, and thank you, Leah, and everybody else at Build Up Dietitians for having me. Take care, guys.